welcome to the show. This is Mark Davis here at Backstage. I'm here with independent recording artist Arthur Danzy. What's happening, Arthur?
What's going on, sir? How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm staying busy. I'm doing the music thing. I'm loving the feedback that I'm getting from my latest album. Entitled "Walking in Favor."
And that's available on all platforms, correct?
Yes, sir. My kids just graduated high school, so I feel accomplished. I feel accomplished doing that. So.
Okay, so let's take a step back. Tell me about Arthur growing up.
Well,
Where are you from?
Growing up, I grew up in the town of Albany, New York. It was a struggle. I went through adoption. I went through foster care. My childhood was a fog. It was a nightmare. I mean, if you were to say it was a nightmare.
Right.
But it turned out that God had a plan for me in spite of my nightmare. So.
Okay. And brothers and sisters?
Yep. My father had 12 kids. My mom got 9 kids.
Woo!
There's a lot of us.
Woo! You rolling deep.
There's a lot of us. Yes, sir.
And were you uptown or downtown Albany?
I was downtown Albany.
Downtown Albany. Okay. So high school?
Yep. I went to high school in down south.
Down south. That's where you.
South Carolina.
Well, when did you move to South Carolina?
I moved to South Carolina when I said 11 years old. I went to Giffen. Shout
out to Giffen.
I think that was my last school I went to. Then I moved to down south. So.
Okay, so then you moved down south.
Yep.
So you went to high school down there.
Yep.
What were you like in high school?
I'm a very quiet, very shy kid. But I played sports. I played basketball. I played every sport just to stay from home. I played every sport like basketball, golf, or you name it, golf, football. I mean,
just to stay out the house.
Exactly.
So basketball, because I know that's such a big part of your life. You were a former Albany Patroon. Tell me about how you got into basketball. How did that all get started?
Well, first of all, that was one of my outlets.
Okay.
Growing up, I mean, I had to have some kind of thing to outlet my anger. I mean, the things I was going through as a child. So in the backyard, all I did was shoot basketball. Taught myself how to dribble. I mean, just stay busy.
So you didn't have the camps and all that stuff.
No camps, no AAU. I mean, no YouTube to learn how to.
Right.
So I mean, I taught myself how to.
Just self-taught.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you started loving basketball, I guess, because you got pretty damn good at it.
Yes, sir.
At one age did you realize that you're pretty good?
I say 13.
13? What happened at 13?
I was playing. I did play in I think the rec league. That was my first time ever playing like organized
ball.
So and I would shoot threes. I'm like, man, I can shoot threes. Like what? because of the practice that I did in the backyard. So and I played organized, and I think I averaged like when I was 13. I think I averaged like 17 points a game at age 13. First time playing organized basketball. So.
Wow. Well, it's in your blood anyway, because that Danzy bloodline is a basketball bloodline. Exactly. So at 13, you knew you were on to something.
Yes, sir.
And you played for your high school team.
Yep.
How'd that go?
My high school team was in Bethune, South Carolina. We were pretty good. I mean, we had some kid named Damon Bracy. He was real good. I remember playing with him. My cousin came before me, like Tyrone McCoy. He played D1 basketball. Went overseas. But I would say my last year. My junior year, we made to the playoffs. We got beat in the third round of playoffs to a team called Great Falls.
Okay.
So I think they won it like every year. So they were pretty good. So now one thing I told my son as well, because I started coaching eventually. I didn't want to coach, but I coached him. And one thing I said to him, I said, listen, I wish I had a coach like me.
Right. When you were growing up.
Exactly. I mean, coaching myself. I mean, because I taught my son since he was in the 2nd grade.
Okay. So, and your son's headed to South Carolina this year on a scholarship.
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Sure. So I mean, it's good to see like the hard labor going into him as he was in 2nd grade, and to see him now
starts paying off.
Exactly. So
starts paying off, and basketball now is so. I mean, you have to be in the AAUs, you have to be in those camps to get discovered. I mean, there's just no other way. So I know that it's taking its toll on your pocket too.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So you graduate high school. When and when did you get the music bug?
The music bug, I would say I always had it as a kid. My mom, she always had me singing in church.
Okay, that's where a lot of people started out.
Exactly. She had me singing in church, She taught me this. She told me to sing this one song, "His Eyes on a Sparrow."
Yeah.
As I'm a kid, I'm singing it everywhere I went, and then I seen the effect that it had on people. I remember when I was like
It's a powerful
13,
song.
I remember 13 years old. I remember singing it. I'm just singing. I remember sitting down after I sang that song. I look back, I saw a young teenager, a girl crying because of stuff she was going through. So, and I look back, I'm like, why is she crying for? And my mom said, listen, I mean, some people are going through a lot of things, so songs will bring them through.
Yeah, sometimes, and sometimes a voice can touch a soul.
Exactly.
You know, and it you know, I know because I sometimes you get chills when you hear,
Exactly.
whoa, you know, it hits you right. So, what age was that?
I say 12 or 13 years
12
old.
or 13.
Yeah.
So you start singing in the church.
Yes, sir.
Now, I know singing in the church, you know, they're serious about song in the church. So they're going to let you know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So how is that for a 12, 13-year-old?
I mean, first of all, 13, 12-year-old, they think that you're very, because it's innocent.
Right.
I mean, you're singing, but so somebody that can sing as a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, they make sure that he's singing. Make sure I'm singing all the leads. Make sure I'm refining that gift so I can use it for God. So.
I see. And so you moved away from church and into R&B.
Yeah, I did a few songs with. I was in a group called True Identity. I was actually in two groups. I was in one group here, one group down south.
Okay, True Identity.
True Identity in New York, and a group called Equal in South Carolina.
Okay, True Identity from here. That's right. Who's in that group?
We had a guy named Tulane. We had my boy Jazz, my boy Corey Austin. I mean, they were really good.
Yeah.
Really
you
good,
guys were rocking for a while around here.
Yep.
And how long were you with them for?
I would say probably two or 3 years.
And that was your R&B era.
Yep.
Okay, and the other group down in South,
Yep.
was that an R&B group
That was
also?
R&B group as well. It wasn't until I went solo that I did my gospel thing. So.
Okay, so most of your career has been in R&B.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, okay. And so how does a R&B artist finding success on the R&B front decide to move into gospel?
Well, I mean, first of all, that was my first love anyway, gospel.
Okay.
First love, and I have an R&B-ish sound anyway. Majority of my music is sound R&B-ish because of the beats.
Right.
And if you would think, if a kid would listen to my song, they wouldn't know that it's gospel.
All right, you have to listen to the words to get it. Yeah, because
Exactly.
you bump into it.
Exactly. Just like the song "Falling in Love with You." Majority of my audience, they think that's about a woman. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So if you listen to the words, you know that's about Jesus. That's about God. So.
Okay. And do you write all your own music?
Right, all my music, and the thing about it is, you know, it's a gift when you write music without writing anything down. So all my music has been freestyle, and like as I'm singing, I'm freestyling. Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. So you know that's a gift from God. So.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're not taught at all. You're basically freestyling it.
Freestyling. Yep. I said that sounds good. That rhymes with that. That rhymes with that. So, of course, I pray to God. I mean, give me a song that's going to touch somebody. Give me a song that's going to just like the teenage girl when I was when I was young. Give me a song that's going to touch somebody's life. That's going to change them. So.
Wow. That's amazing. So this is difficult for me to comprehend because I'm thinking because I know how music gets created. It's very technical.
Yep.
So you're very unorthodox in your creation.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, some people would say, write songs, without the beat. I mean, I guess that's the way God, gave me the gift to write songs. I mean, sometimes I hear a song throughout the day. I say, okay, that sounds good, and then I get a beat to go with it.
Okay.
As well.
Now, were you into poetry or anything beforehand?
No, sir.
No. Wow. That's pretty wild. So you moved into gospel. How many gospel albums do you have out now?
I have 7 gospel albums out.
Seven gospel albums.
They're all on Spotify. iTunes. And,
Wow.
and you would think, well, first of all, my first album, from now, he'll tell you, it may, the words may have been good, but it sound terrible. Like my first album, I mean, you see the growth from my first album to
Of
now.
course,
You
of
see
course.
the growth.
Sometimes we think that it's like anything we do. When you look back on, if you don't look back on what you did 7 years ago and say, "Oh,"
Oh my goodness.
then that means you ain't doing nothing. You're not
time,
growing.
every time I hear my first song, I'm like, oh, that was me. Oh my goodness.
Like, oh,
What?
let's take this down.
Exactly.
But now it shows the growth though, and I deal with models a lot, and a lot of times they want for me to I have folders for them. They want to erase their early work.
Exactly.
Oh my God, I didn't know what I was doing.
Exactly.
No, you need to see that. You need to see that because you need to see the growth
Exactly.
and how far you've come. So your first one.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the words. I mean, the words are good, but the sound. Because I did everything from my own like man cave. I did everything from.
Okay, so it wasn't professionally produced.
Exactly.
It wasn't. Okay, I get it.
Exactly.
So you basically just went out there and said, I want to do this, and I'm gonna do everything myself.
Exactly. I mean,
Okay.
I had to start somewhere. So
Now, how's the growth from the first one to the second one?
I would say, I mean, the growth from the first one to now the second one.
Second one.
First one to the first one, the second one. I would say, I guess the pain that I went through because my first album was about getting through a lot of things. Second one was about realizing who I was as a man, as a child of God. So I was.
Well, let's stay there for a minute because you said something that caught my attention. A lot of artists are motivated by the things they go through. The transition that you had to go through, what was that? Was that because of your own doing? Were you doing some stupid stuff out there?
I did some stupid things based on how I was treated as a young child.
Right.
Because I didn't know. I mean, going because I didn't go through therapy.
Okay.
I didn't go to.
So you did your own therapy. You did
exactly. Me not. I mean, okay. Me. I'm thinking, okay, once I give my life to God, that everything's fine. Which I didn't know that I had triggers. I didn't know that I didn't know that. See what I'm saying? I didn't go to counseling to get all that stuff out that happened to me as a child. I mean, the adoption, the rejection, the abandonment, all that stuff. And I'm thinking, then I get married at a young age, and I'm thinking, okay, just because I'm saved, just because I know
Everything's
God.
all right.
Exactly.
And that ain't the case.
Exactly.
So when did you come to the realization that you still needed work?
When you get
Because-
married, when you get
He
married.
said when you get married.
when you
So
get-
tell me about that.
I mean, because when you get married, I mean, it's all about being selfless.
Yes.
And once I felt like rejection, once I felt abandoned, I mean, those feelings, I thought they went away just 'cause I gave my life to God, but they didn't.
Yes.
Once I felt that again, I ran to what I was used to run into. I ran to, I would say, addictions.
Okay.
I ran to addictions.
Yep.
And that played a toll on my relationship as well. So I'll admit, as a man, yes.
Yeah. Sometimes we think that, and God is the answer for everything, and in a way He is, but it doesn't happen like that.
No.
Well, you give your life to God, okay, great. That's a good start. Now what?
Exactly.
Everything, all the pieces of the puzzle don't just all come together
They
then.
don't.
So you found out that it could through marriage. So I assume that the marriage was pretty rocky early.
It was pretty rocky because I got married very young.
How old were you?
I was 21. I had just turned 21 when I got married.
I got married on my 22nd birthday.
Yep.
But I was a different young man.
Yeah.
I've been married now for 34 years, so I was a different young man. But so you got married at a young age, and obviously you weren't ready for marriage.
And I thought I was ready. I thought I was mature for marriage, but
No. So how does a 21-year-old put this back together? Because it's so easy for when it starts spiraling out of control for a 21-year-old to keep that spiral going. So when did you realize that you needed help, and how did you get help?
of course I went to counseling.
And how old were you then?
I was had to be in my 30s.
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell how old I am now, but I say in my 30s.
Okay. So that's when you realized that, hey, listen,
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Yeah.
And you started getting help for it.
Yeah.
And as you're getting help, you're still making music?
Still making music, and that was my therapy too as well. I mean, making music, because as I'm letting things out, I mean, I'm crying to him like, God. I mean, I didn't know I had a song like that inside of me. So and I wrote about everything that I went through, and then
Okay, so your music is basically a blueprint of your life.
yep, every song has meaning. Every song. I mean, I didn't write any song without a meaning, without a feeling, without asking God, okay, give me the wisdom to write this song. Give me.
That must be hard, man. I mean, and the reason why I say that must be hard is that you're almost reliving it every single time you hear it. So and I know how many times it goes into polishing a song and getting the song right, and rewrites and whatever the case may be. So that's got to be tough, reliving the pain over and over again. From childhood, because I imagine that you talked about childhood in some of your.
I sure did. Yeah, talked about adoption. I talked about rejection. And talked about all the stuff I went through, and I wouldn't say that it was no. Actually, it felt like a release. Like
Okay.
I'm singing them songs, writing those words, writing those songs, it felt as if that I'm being released from that stuff. I mean, for example, the song, one of my recent songs, just like he was singing it today. That song, as I finish the song, I mean, I'll listen to it as I'm sleeping. I mean, I listen to it when I'm done. I would cry. I'm like, man,
Wow.
It's like it's healing. This song is healing me. Because the song, I mean, in order for somebody to be a minister to somebody, it ministered them first. It ministered to them first. It ministered to me first. So I'm like, man, this song is powerful. It had me in tears every single night, every single day that I listened to it. I think I listened to it at least like 5,000 times after I wrote it, after it was produced. So and then it felt like it was healing me.
So it's got to be hard performing those songs. 'Cause I know you also are a performer, so it's got to. Is it difficult performing those songs?
I would say no, because I see the reaction that the people have when they hear it. It feel like, I mean, they can, if people that can relate to it, and they're more into it. I mean, I see them crying. I see them raising their hands saying, "Thank you, God." So that's more of the love I have now. I mean, seeing other people that's going through get through it as well.
Okay.
Through my song.
Through your song.
Exactly.
Okay. So, but in a way, though, I mean, I would think that you're reliving some of the most difficult times of your life. Certainly, you're in a better place now, but the journey there, sometimes we like to take that stuff and tuck it away.
I would say it's humbling, because when I think about it, I'm like, God, I thank you for, the saying, I thank God. What was it saying? I'm not where I want to be.
Right.
But thank God I'm not where I used to be.
Where I used to be.
So it's humbling. As I look back over my life, and I think about, like, man, God really brought me through a lot of mess, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So and to see where God brought me from then there to now is
Wow.
crazy.
That's amazing. That's an amazing turnaround. I mean, now, having gone through the whole foster care and adoption system, I had another young lady who went through that also, and she still hasn't come to terms with it. What kind of difficulties did you deal with as a young man with that?
I would say low self-esteem, dealing with. I felt that everybody was out to get me. Everybody was out. I mean, even in school, I felt rejected even in school, because I feel like I carried that spirit with me, the spirit of rejection.
Okay.
It felt that as if that everybody was against me. It felt that that I was a failure.
Okay.
And that why me spirit, like why did I have to go
Now,
through this?
despite all the successes you're having, because you're having successes, you're one of the top basketball players around. You're when you're a top basketball player at the school, you're popular in school, but there's something underneath there that still you're not good enough.
I mean, that too, and not seeing my real family, my real. I mean, even though my adopted parents they were great, but not being able to live with my mom and my real dad.
Right.
I mean, that plays a toll on you. I mean, okay, like I'm saying, like, why me? Why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to do this? Why did I have to go through that stuff? but so that played a toll, and me not feel like I'm not fitting in played a toll as well. So
you know, when you say these things, you know, it brings back feelings. It brings up feelings in me, how much we are actually motivated by our past. My father died when I was young, very young,
Gotcha.
and I played sports, and Division II. You know, went off to college. You know, the whole nine. 13 years all-star here, the whole nine, and no one was there for me. My father was dead, so nobody was there for me really. You know, so my mother wasn't coming to games, but you know, I would see all the kids and their fathers. And when I had my son, I went overboard. You know, it's like I went OD. It was like, so I know what motivated that. You know, I remember when my wife was in the hospital, the day she had my son, I wouldn't leave. I wouldn't leave because I didn't want people thinking that here's a black child being born without a father. So I was parked. You know, so I know how that, what happens to us, you know, long ago, affects who we are now. So you've come to reconcile that and come to terms with that, and you're releasing that through your music. So is each release a different chapter, almost like a book?
It sure is, because like I said, from my first one to now, like my recent CD album, Walking in Favor, is like a release of my mind. I mean, the more I know about God, the more I read, is the more I'm free. I feel like I'm more free now.
Okay.
The song "Walking in Favor." I mean, the first word says, "I had a vision that I'm basically walking in dominion. This is what I was born to do. And that's what I'm gonna do." I mean, church, they don't teach you that. They teach you, give your life to God and you're going to heaven.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But God, he said, no, give your life to me, then he wants you to, live out your gifts on earth. So many people tell you and that are Christians, they say, okay, give your life to God and you're going to heaven. And no, but God, he wants you to use your gifts here on earth. That's why Jesus prayed. He said, it will be done on earth as it is in heaven. He didn't say go to heaven. He said I want my will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. So and being able to use my gift the way God blessed me to do. Like I said, in that city, like I said, it's like a mind change now, from doing what I was born to do than doing what I'm tolerating to do. So.
Wow. So, you know, as I talk to you, I would think that you would be an excellent motivational speaker for kids. Do you do any of that? Do you?
I'm actually a teacher. I mean, I teach music.
Okay, there you go.
I'm a youth pastor. I mean, I love the youth, man. I love the youth, and that's my passion is to inspire them to be what they were born to be.
Just tell me, how do you get there? Just tell me that road, that road there, because I know it's a road filled with obstacles. Working with kids now, I mean that's got to be tough. I worked my whole life with kids, you know, so I know. So tell me about your journey there. Right?
Well, first of all, the stuff that God allowed me to go through actually prepared me for the youth.
Okay.
So it felt like I didn't have a teenage life. So God turned that around for me to be able to. He anointed me to be able to talk to the youth, to teach them things that I went through. But nowadays, I mean, it's kind of hard talking to them because love and everything starts at home. Whenever they're not getting love, whenever they're not getting attention at home, they act out in school. And there's, I mean, and the best of my ability, I show them love. I talk to them, say, listen, you're better than that. I treat them the way that I wanted to be treated as a child as well. So it's difficult at times, but I pray through it. Say, God, give me the wisdom to deal with these kids. give me the wisdom to deal with them.
I just know they're a different group, man. You know, like I said, I worked with incarcerated youth my whole life. You know, I did 34 years with incarcerated youth. And I know getting through to them is a soft shoe. It's maneuvering, and because the things that they are privy to now, I wasn't privy to when I was a kid.
Exactly.
You know, the things that they grew up seeing, I didn't see those things.
Exactly.
You know, and if something was going on in your household, you didn't speak about it nowhere else, so you just ate it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You just ate it.
Yeah.
You know, these kids are feeling, that pressure. And how do you release that from them? Do you tell them what you went through?
Yep. Majority of the kids, they were like, you was adopted, Mr. Danzy? Like, what? You was adopted? I'm like, yes. I tell them, I said, listen, I wanted to commit suicide a couple of times. I said, don't try it, don't try it. Though.
Right.
But I tell them the pain that I went through. They was like, man, some of the girls start crying. The teenage girls, they started crying. They said, you don't look like what you've been through, Mr. Danzy. And they hear the song. And they said, you went through adoption. You did this, you did that. So yes, so that's why I share my song. That's why I share it with the kids, and I get down to their level.
That's the key. The key is to meet them where they're at.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so many times, I see people trying to help youth and do it from a position of authority or power or and that's not going to work with these kids. You got to go get them where they're at.
Exactly. You got to show love to them, reach down where they're at, appreciate them, and initiate it too. Because me, I give all the kids high five every morning. I show them attention. I tell them that they appreciate it. I embrace them all the time. I mean, getting out of level and talk to them. And encouraging them. So.
Yeah. One of the things I used to, I don't know if you do the same, but one of the things I used to break the ice with kids, was basketball. Yeah. Because, I was a basketball player, so they're like, yo, D, they see me now like, what? You can still shoot? Yeah, I can still shoot, man. Like, so it does break the ice for them. You have a few things. You have basketball, you have music, so I know they're interested in your music. Yep. And you teach music also, correct?
Yep, I sure do. And I put, because I teach at 3 schools. And one of the schools, if you check out Walking in Favor video, you see like 15 of those kids dancing in my video.
Wow.
Yep. So I taught them some choreography, and they loved it. I mean, just them being able to be in a music video, and they shared it with their friends, shared it with their parents.
So you're that hip guy. They love that.
I try to be.
Well, you have to be. You have to be, because if you appear to be so far past them, they're just not going to tune in. That's just the way it is. Wow. Yep. So staying with the kids though, do you also work with the parents? And I asked that for a reason, because so much of we're dealing with different parents these days too. Okay, so parenting is not the same as it was then, and so and I know that the work I did with kids for so long, we could fix the kid, really work with the kids, give the kid the skills to develop, and then we send them back to the parents who don't have any skills.
Exactly.
So that was really frustrating for me. To see all the hard work we put in just get thrown out the window because so you're not working with the parents at all?
No, if I could, I would, because I know it starts at home. It starts at home, and if we can have like meetings and stuff before school starts and everything, or even embrace the parents to come in. I mean, every month and say, listen, it starts at home. I mean, continue to show them love, continue to do what you're doing, and encourage the parents, because parents are going through as well.
Yeah, they are. They are.
And some of them are very young too.
Oh, they're so young. Man, I look at some of these parents and I'm like, I never knew my mother when she was that age.
Exactly. Exactly.
My mother wasn't going out to parties.
Exactly. Yep.
So I get that. So that whenever you're working with youth and trying to fix and mold, and it's always that backdrop of home and what's home like. So I realize that's different. Exactly. And how long have you been doing that for?
Well, I've been coaching basketball and teaching. I've been coaching, and that's a form of teaching as well.
Yeah, well, that's teaching.
For at least like, say 16, 17 years. But I just recently started teaching. I think this is my second, third year now.
Okay.
So.
Okay, yeah, I know coaching is teaching because I think about the lessons I've learned in life were taught on a basketball court. You know, I learned those lessons in life on a basketball court. You know, I taught my son life lessons through baseball.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I, you know, taught him baseball, and I taught him the life lessons through baseball. Now, here, it can be difficult sometimes because working with youth, my son always had to share me with everyone.
Yeah.
How's your son work with that?
Well, I mean, because my son was I think he was had to be 3 or 4 years old. I set time apart for him and my daughter. I would call them date nights.
Okay.
So Mondays would be my daughter's, Tuesdays would be my son's, because I know we can have practice and we got AAU games over the weekend. So I make sure I set time apart for them so they feel that they're special as well.
Okay.
And I let them know, listen, okay, I'm sharing you with this team, but I still love you. I mean,
Right.
And I told all the other kids too. I mean, I treated every kid as if they were my son anyway as well.
Right.
So my son he knew that.
Yeah, it's a soft dance you have to do because those kids latch on to you.
Yeah.
You know, you become dad to a lot of those kids because, you know, I assume a lot of kids don't have fathers in the home.
Yep.
You know, don't have fathers, so you become that father figure. And you know, I never thought about the impact that could have on my own son.
Exactly.
You know, seeing me in that role for everybody. Like, why does he understand he's special?
Exactly.
You know, so you coach your son. Are you still coaching him?
I still coach him. I coach him every year of his life. That's crazy. From AAU to the YMCA to high school as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny because you remind me a lot of myself. I remember I was sitting at the table and my son came upstairs to talk to me. He said, "Dad, I want to talk to you about something." He said, I need you to tell me what to do. And I said, "Son, you know, he's 18. I said, "Yeah, me telling you what to do, no more."
Exactly.
I said, "I'm a mentor now. I can advise you on things, but
Exactly.
I've gave you the tools to make your own decisions." So it's almost like you transcend that relationship. And your son's about to go away to college, so you're in that realm. You ready for that?
I would say yes and no. I mean, because as I'm driving down the street, with him, like somewhere else, I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss my boy.
Yeah.
I think about what he's doing, and even my girls. They both graduated this year.
Okay.
Even my daughter.
Congratulations.
I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss them. They out of the house. I'm like, man, I miss them.
Oh, at the same time.
Graduate, yeah, this year. Yeah, this year.
Good planning. That's good planning.
So I'm happy for them because they're growing. They're growing. I see the growth in both of them. I love them. I wish they were smaller. Because the thing is, the love that I didn't get, like I said, just like you, I poured into them. And many people say, man, you're a great dad, but this is the stuff that I wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? I wanted to. I wish my dad was my coach too. See what I'm saying? Or my mom was my coach too. And I told my kids, I said, listen. I remember one day my son said, if I was your dad, both my kids said, if I was your dad, we would have treated you differently. I would have been your coach, and I would have supported everything that you did, because of the love I poured into them. So it's hard. It's hard seeing them leave.
Very hard. You know, do you look back at the way you grew up with resentment?
No, I know I would have, because I had a lot of unforgiveness because I didn't know why.
Right.
I asked that question why, but I got understanding why I was adopted. I would ask my mom all the time, and she told me. She said, listen, because she had me at a young age. She had me when she was like 14 years old.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah, she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. She and her mom died when she was like 7.
Okay.
And her father wasn't there.
So she didn't know what to do either.
Yeah, exactly. So all that bitterness and anger went away once I found understanding why she did that.
Okay.
And then instead of me hating her, I had compassion for her. So it turned from hate to compassion and love.
I got you. I got you.
So
just opening up your heart and opening up your mind,
exactly,
to learn new information, healed.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild how you moved out of resentment because it was just getting answers.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and I can't remember the philosopher, but he said, you'll meet your destiny on the very road you take to avoid it. And you're where you are today because of your journey. You know, that's it. I mean, your journey has brought you right to where you are. So the what you're pouring into your kids is a result of what you went through. So they're benefiting from that pain. You know, and you know, I try to tell my son that, you know, sometimes, because he's always grown up with mom and dad. He's always grown up in a nice house in the country. You know, he's always, this is the only thing he's ever known. You know, and I grew up on First Street. Wasn't so good over there. Things were pretty tough over there. You know, so we've opened, because of our path, we've opened up things for our own children. You know, and that's a blessing. That is truly a blessing. Now, does your daughter have plans to go to school, college?
She's planning to go to the same school my son is going to, South Carolina State.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh, so he's right in your backyard, so you're gonna be able to still coach him.
Still coaching. Now, even though I'll be coaching high school basketball, but I'm gonna go to all the games that I can go to show the support for him as well. So.
Now, was that by design? Him staying in South Carolina?
I mean, because he had that one offer. I mean, he wanted many choices, but I mean, wherever he felt chosen at, wherever he felt that he was accepted at, that's where he wanted to go.
That's where he felt you want me.
Needed, exactly.
Right. You really want me? Exactly. I'm yours. Exactly. I like that. So, your music. Do you use your music now with in your family life to detail your family life from where you are now?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Does your music that you're doing now, like your newest release, did that detail where you are now?
Yeah, spiritually, yes. I mean, because like I said, from my first CD to now, I mean, you see a lot of growth, not just musically, but spiritually as well. Getting my mind, in the Word, God teaching you new things about you, on who you are as a person. I'm like, okay, God, I mean, I'm supposed to have dominion. I'm supposed to have this. I'm your son. Because if he's a king, I mean, imagine you got a king as a father. Yeah. And we settling for things down here. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that I was settling for this or I'm settling for that. He said, no, you my son. So so me spiritually, I'm growing more of knowing who I am. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
okay. And you said something earlier, and I was saving it because I wanted to jump into it because it's such a I see it. I see how addiction actually can work for you. That addiction bug, that addiction trait can work for you, and I see how it's working for you now. You know, you flip the script on it to where, you know, your work ethic has to be through the roof.
Exactly.
It's through the roof. I see it. I see it because you're telling me the things you're doing. And I'm totaling up the hours of a day in my head. I'm saying, well, hey, you know, this brother's running all the time. So how is that? You know, how is managing that?
Well, I mean, I realize that my time here is short. Everybody realizes the time is short, so I'm trying to get all I can. And the music, the coaching, the parenting,
the teaching,
and it's all prayers answered because I want to be doing something anyway that's going to influence people, my kids, people that look up to me in music. So you got to put in hours. It's just like playing basketball. You got to put in hours. You got to put in the time.
Yeah.
If you want to reach your goals and your dreams and your vision, you got to put in that time.
Yeah, no doubt. So are you happy where your music is now?
I'm very happy.
Very pleased. Is this, in your eyes, is this your best release yet?
I would say my best is yet to come.
Oh, okay.
but I have improved though. I mean, I know there's more, because I know people say all the time, there's a saying that your future is not ahead of you, your future is inside of you. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
God never puts anything on the outside of a person; He puts it inside you. So I know there's more stuff inside of me that I haven't released yet. Probably a book, some songs, because I know there's more songs that's gonna touch the world. Right. And that's my goal, is to touch more people, to be more influential. So I know there's more in me. But I'm content where I'm at with the music, yes. But I'm not satisfied though.
Okay.
There you go.
I like that. Definitely a writer. Okay. So your music is you're content with it, but you're not satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's coming? What's on the horizon for you?
I know my next album is gonna drop pretty soon. I got more songs that are in my in the archive. Like I said, a book. I'm writing
How
a book
many actual albums do you have out?
I would say at least like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
You can they're downloadable.
Downloadable, okay.
On YouTube, more videos on YouTube. They're iTunes, Spotify,
Google Music.
Amazon. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
On all platforms.
So you got something in the works,
Mm-hmm.
and tell us about that.
Well,
Don't be sneaky. Don't be sneaky on me now. Give it to me.
I would say that, I mean, I'm surprised myself. I mean, I'm like, wow. I mean, like I said earlier, I mean, God, you put all this in me to release to the world. I'm like, wow. I mean, you trusted me with this gift. I'm like, wow. Okay. So I'm doing the best I can to get this stuff out to the world. It's like a tree that's producing apples, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because the gift of that tree is the fruit. If it doesn't bear fruit, then it's not doing what it was born to do.
Right.
So the gift that God put in me, I'm like, man, God, you trusted me with this gift. Of course, I'm gonna share it with the world. So there's songs that I listen to that I cry on that I haven't released yet.
Wow.
I still cry, and that gives me healing as well. So
Okay.
so I'm just waiting for the right time to produce it.
Okay. So you're not engineering your own music now, are you?
Not no more.
Okay. So you got no.
Exactly.
But I'm not really good at that, right?
No. My last album was actually done. I would say my first 6 albums were done in my own studio, but my last album, Walking in Favor, I recorded that in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I saved up. I mean, it was like it had to be $16,000 worth of stuff.
Woo!
So
It left a mark,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So I'm like, and the sound of it sound amazing.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got one video out from that?
No, I have 3 videos from that album.
3 videos out from
Yep.
that album.
Yeah, Walking in Favor. No, actually 4. I'm sorry, 4.
4.
Yeah, Walking in Favor, The Day I Found You, Love of the Father, and there's one more. One more.
And I did see one video. Gino sent it to me, and I'm sitting there listening. I'm looking at the video. I said, "Wow, that's pretty damn well produced."
Which one was that one?
Gino, you remember which one you sent me?
Well, I was just singing.
Yeah, the one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what song is that.
Fighting your battles.
What's the name of that song? Talking about,
It's gonna get better.
oh, Gonna Get Better. Okay, that
That's
one,
it.
Yep. On the train track.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very well done.
That's the song I'm talking about. That's one of the songs I did it. Before it was mastered, I listened to it, laid down, fell asleep to it, woke up crying to it, and I'm like, God, man. I mean, and then you begin to realize, I mean, why you went through the stuff that you went through, because you write a song about it. Because you got to be careful what you ask for from God, for real. I'm like, God, give me a song or something that's gonna, or give me a song that's gonna touch somebody's life or whatever. And then that song it may not come to like another year later. You may have to go through some things for it to happen. So you got to be careful what you ask for from God. So,
Yeah. And when you say touch somebody's life, it might be your life that gets touched.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But yeah, I who shot that video?
I did. I shoot all my videos.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I edited everything.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Almost a one-man band.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got.
But you know what though? When you were coming up, you learned all those skills because you had to.
Exactly.
So now when you farm it out to somebody, you're like, okay, I know what what I want it to look like. So you're probably in a very good position to work hand in hand with people.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, do you find yourself needing to take control over a project, or can you release it to somebody else's control?
I mean, my goal is to, because I've been doing it so long by myself. My goal is here. If you want to do it, you want to help me out. Come on, help me out.
Come on, as many hands I can get, right?
Exactly. It saves time and it puts other people's input inside of it as well. So my goal is to have a team.
So how long are you up here for?
I'm leaving tomorrow.
Leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, Arthur, I want to thank you for stopping in. It's been amazing talking to you. You know, getting to know you a little bit better, getting my viewers to know you a little bit better. Mm-hmm. It's been amazing. You know, safe trip back to South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
And best wishes to your son as he starts his journey.
Yes,
And your daughter, she starts her new journey
Yes,
too.
sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot,
I just
brother.
want to say thank you for inviting me. I enjoyed every second of it, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.